With all of the issues we've been facing in Evrima recently, things like lag and mix packing and such, I have officially decided to quit Evrima and return to being a Legacy player. I know you've all been waiting for this moment for so long, for me to finally accept that Legacy is superior in every way. Well, you've got me. I'm going home. Back to the best version of the Isle to ever exist. And what better way to make that return than to jump straight onto the Tyrant King himself. I spawned into a beautiful sunset. Ah, it's good to be home. I had a good amount of time before I would need my first meal, and I set off in the direction of the nearest water source. Legacy is simple. No diets, no debuffs or growth rate increases, not a mutation for miles. Food and water, that's all I need. Darkness fell before I knew it. But it's okay. Legacy has the best night vision in the genre. Everything is awesome. Oops. I slipped. It's okay, I'm just sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed a midnight snack. As I stumbled through the darkness for my DoorDash delivery, though, some guy, probably named like Lonnie or something, came running at me. What he didn't know is that I know jujitsu. He may have been a little bit bigger, but as soon as I activated my secret weapon, running in place in directions I didn't try to go, his days were numbered. I didn't need my DoorDash delivery anymore. Lonnie's invisible corpse would be plenty to get me through until morning. I woke up to a rainstorm, and in need of more food. I wandered around for a little while, hoping that DoorDash would respond to my request. But I was informed I'd eaten the delivery driver last night, and they wouldn't be sending another to my address. I was pretty hungry, though. Legacy would never let me starve, though. It wouldn't do me dirty like that. Not after I've sworn to leave Gateway behind. And so, when the Dilo appeared, I knew that I hadn't been forsaken. My superior ability to get stuck on trees and rocks at the most opportune moments had the Dilo at a distinct disadvantage. And then my secret weapon activated once again. Oh yeah, he'd never take me alive. I was growing nicely now, getting bigger by the day. Between meals, I did my absolute favorite thing. Hide in a tree. There's none of that pesky foliage in Legacy to help those silly juveniles hide from the much larger and faster adults roaming the server. Don't worry though, that's why DoorDash exists in Legacy. That way, while you're growing, you never have to go far from your tree for a quick meal. I spotted another little Rex who had wandered too far from his tree. I jumped out to scare him, and he died of fright. For legal reasons, that's definitely his cause of death. Now, I was told that I had to stay with his absolutely not partially eaten corpse. So I sat next to him for a while. At least until the Gigas showed up. They looked rather like they wanted to swallow me whole. And I don't know about you, but I'm not really about that life. So when they definitely, absolutely politely asked me to stand aside and let them take a look at the corpse I was sitting with, I ran away screaming for dramatic effect. In the darkness, I began to evolve. Subadult life, here I come. Subrex is, of course, the strongest mid-tier in Legacy, if you know what you're doing. I don't, but it's the thought that counts, am I right? The best part about becoming a subadult, though, is that I don't have to eat the rest of those pesky corpses anymore. Subadults are above finishing their meals. We like staying hungry despite there being more food right there on the ground. It's alright though. A baby Rex came running up to me so trustingly, and I took them in instead of eating them. Why, you ask? Because I clearly needed a cleanup crew to finish what I left behind on my plate, of course. My tree of sitting was beginning to stink with all of the rotting rib cages scattered around. It was going to attract pests. After getting everything cleaned up, I finally offered my little tag-along a fresh meal before logging out. I knew I would be back soon. I couldn't possibly stay away for long. All that tree sitting made me thirsty. I went to get a drink again, and the magic of the water allowed me to evolve into my final form. Oh yes, I was a monster now. I still had some growing to do, but I was a big chungus with a big turn radius. I noticed a raptor watching me evolve. He pretended to look indifferent as I walked in his direction. But as soon as I turned away and went to pick up my nearest delivery, he attempted to sneak up behind me. I spotted him though, and he trotted away, pretending like he definitely wasn't about to jump out from behind a tree and yell boo just then. Anyway, I was a big boy now, so I continued on my way. No more tree sitting for me. I was too big. People would laugh at me. After hunting another helpless AI, though, I spotted the raptor again, sitting on a pillar. How quaint. Must be nice to be able to sit in high places like that. Rawr! I'm the king of the apexes. Fear me. I continued pressing forward, only for the raptor to start following me. Oh dear. He'd finally decided that he wanted to fight, I guess. That's not really a good thing for me, but super great for him. Raptors in Legacy are the true apexes after all. As they well should be. Tail riders at their finest. Honestly, the most skilled form of fighting. Do you understand just how difficult it is to carefully turn left while biting the base tail of a walking Rex without stepping parallel to their left leg where their hitbox extends? And then another Rex arrived and sat down behind the raptor. Oh, how nice. He wanted to watch. Legacy fights are the best. Nice and slow, giving you plenty of time to crochet a tea cozy as you wait for the faster opponent to make their move. Then a Herrera showed up too. They don't climb trees in Legacy. Which is good. Keep those silly tree rats on the ground so they can't cause troubles for the juveniles during their DoorDash days. Oh, anyway, it turns out they were all together. It's okay. No big deal. I really missed sitting in a tree for almost 5 hours. A multitude of hours later, I had fallen asleep and missed a few deliveries, so I was pretty hungry and had to go outside at night. Normally that's not a big deal, you know, but I had forgotten the ABCs of Legacy. Always be crouching. Especially as a loud and proudly stomping subadult. I wasn't mad. He was just putting me down for a nap again. I wasn't supposed to be out of bed. I got caught out of bed again by a couple of Carnos. It's so nice not having thick foliage to hide in, to escape the bigger dinosaurs when I'm small and vulnerable. Could you even imagine? How would they ever feed themselves? Soon after, I found myself adopted by a really wonky-looking Rex. He wasn't threatening to end me this time, and even related to my trouble with the Carnos. So I decided to be a good little, definitely not terrified of dying again for declining an invitation, juvie, and accepted my new family without question. When I got to the group, I discovered that I'd been adopted by a bunch of sub-Rexes, and my slightly not exactly a Rex, but still didn't eat me so it's fine, brother. These guys were legitimately great. They protected me, kept me fed, and best of all, they didn't make me go to bed at 6 p.m. every night. I got to stay up late and explore with them. It was great. It was so good not to be alone that I was beginning to forget why I should be afraid of the dark. As I hunted in Ava, something wild began to go down. I couldn't see at night. I didn't have those super special powers like everyone else on the server. But suddenly everyone was on high alert, except for me. I ambled around in the dark, playing tag with my prey, oblivious to the chaos bubbling in the inky blackness around me. Everyone else moved away quickly, and I enjoyed my delicious snack as a giant shape loomed out of the blackness. Whoa. I don't know how many there were there. They didn't want me. I was too small, not enough food for what I was told was a group of 10 players of mixed apexes and mid-tiers. There was nothing we could do. Not against those odds. They took down Bazooka, which was actually legitimately sad. They had been the one most often sticking close to me, even when I fell further behind the rest of the group. Not long after reaching sub-adult myself, unfortunately the rest of my group had to log out. I was on my own again, and it was beautifully dark. I just needed water, and then I'd return to the safety of a tree. Because heck if I was going to keep wandering around without a group of people with superpowers to see in the dark. I approached the water without a care in the world. Only to spot a Spino sitting right beside where I stopped to drink. Yeah. I decided I should probably give him his personal space. About 7 knitted cardigans later, I was a big boy again. Man, I get so much done playing Legacy. I was so chunky that walking out of the trees scared an entire Giga. And I still had another hour before I'd be fully grown. I was pretty hungry though, and that scared Giga was a tempting meal. A less dangerous target though caught my eye. A Carno. He friendly called, and I had flashbacks to an earlier existence. I glanced at him, then looked away. He friendly called again. 2 Carnos, finding me in the darkness. Helpless. Alone. My angle of approach changed just slightly. He friendly called again. Crouched. But I was close now. He stepped into the water, and I informed him of my intentions, giving him just enough time to make an attempt to flee. I was very nearly fully grown now. 95%, stalking the herbivore herd at Twins. I was very hungry. A Maya or Parasaur would be ideal, but the entire gigantic Pew was a pipe dream too. Unluckily for me though, there were several large Gigas over there, and I most certainly wasn't going to walk into that. Instead, I yelled at a local Allosaurus to give me the baby he had killed. As I opted to leave the area, not wanting to become the target of the Giga trio, an Allo approached. Oh dear. Boy oh boy was I excited. I'd gotten a lot of practice crouch walking around the map. Keeping the aloe off my tail so he couldn't tail ride me to death wasn't going to be an issue. In fact, I was doing so well at preventing his tail riding abilities from activating that my bleed healed.
I see that you have begun to heal. But alas, great Chunky Rex, you are not the only master of lag jitsu.
He was using my own secret weapon against me. Huh, my only weakness. My control was taken away from me. I could no longer run forward, only slide backward. The aloe's mind powers caused me to bleed heavily. This was the fight of all time. I was absolutely in control of my movement. Evrima could never bring such an incredibly immersive experience.
Say goodnight, Rex. You should have stayed in your tree.
As my world began to fade, so did the aloe's mind powers. I could move freely once more. And then I could move even more freely. I couldn't wait to respawn again, to relive my experience on Legacy once more. No, just kidding. April Fools, y'all. See you back on Evrima. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.